Hi children, namaste. Welcome back to English. Today I'm going to discuss with you Unit 2 A reading, that is C.V. Raman. Okay, it's a beautiful lesson. It talks about science and it talks about a man who has nothing and he has become so great. And you know who is C.V. Raman? What is he very famous for? He was one who is the first Nobel Prize winner from Asia, from India, and first Nobel Prize winner who is non-white. And if you want to know more about this man called C.V. Raman, please listen to the lesson carefully. But before that, open your books and write the hard words and their meanings and study them and then listen to the lesson. Is that very clear, children? In case wherever you get stuck up, please call me and ask for doubts. Okay, let's listen to the lesson. Okay. Good morning, children. Now let's learn Unit 2 A reading. It is about C.V. Raman, the pride of India. First of all, do you know who is C.V. Raman? What's the meaning of pride? Who is the pride of the forest? It is lion. Likewise, the pride of India is C.V. Raman. Okay. So this is the beautiful lesson that we are going to learn, children. And you must, before listening to the class, you must dig out some information about C.V. Raman. I hope do you see these pictures? Could you guess their names? Yeah, we are now going to learn about the third person, and he is Mr. C.V. Raman. Do you know the full name of C.V. Raman? In which field did he contribute his works and became so famous and great? Who are all the other people there? Do you have any idea, children? If you have any idea, please write their names and send to me. Did they become great people? Yes. There are questions down. Who are the people in the pictures? Question number 1. And question number 2, tell to yourself or tell to your class, because you are not in the class at your home, tell to yourself who are they. And by seeing them, you must get one idea what you want to become in life. Do you want to just remain in the place where you are? Or you want to really go ahead and become somebody great in your life? What is your plan? What is your ambition? What is your goal? Since the school is closed, what are your daily schedules, my dear children? Playing. What more? Sleeping more time, playing games in the mobile and spending more time in the mobile, visiting relatives' houses, though there is a corona pandemic, going to the fields for working, sitting with the neighbors and playing, cycling, and all these, pretty unimportant things we are doing. But what is most important for your life? You cannot just remain like that, children, and pass the time. You have to do something in your life. Now it is the time to, at least basic things like handwriting you have to improve, my dear children. What is your goal in life? What you really want to become? Children, please plan out. If you don't plan out, then you are planning to fail. Remember that. Now let's learn about this great man's life. Okay, C.V. Raman, the pride of India. It is in Unit 2 A reading. On the busy Bowes Bazaar street in Calcutta, there was an old building. Okay, the lesson is in Calcutta, starting in Calcutta, and there is an old building, and the name of the building is, it was the headquarters of Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. So the building is known for improvement, development of science. Okay. In the science field, there was a great work done at this place, and the short form is IACS, which means Indian Association for Cultivation of Sciences. In December, on a fine evening in 1927, there was much excitement in one of the laboratories. Okay, so in 1927, in the month of December, there was a kind of happiness in the laboratory. Why? There, Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman. What is the full name of C.V. Raman? Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman. Remember this name. He was actually guiding a visitor and explaining him about the instruments and scientific inventions in that laboratory. And suddenly a man rushed in. A man came running, and his name is K.S. Krishnan. He announced a good news that Professor Compton has won the Nobel Prize in X-rays. Okay, so who has announced the great news? K.S. Krishnan. To whom? C.V. Raman. What is the news about? The news is about receiving the Nobel Prize by Professor Compton. And who is this Compton? Why did he get this Nobel Prize? Let's learn. Okay, so Raman was equally delighted. When this news was heard, even K.S. Krishnan was very, very happy. And now at the same time, there is another guy also who is very, very happy. And who is he? He is Raman. Raman is also very happy, my dear children, to hear the news of receiving the Nobel Prize. Two people were very, very happy. He said, smiling at the visitor, and then he was lost in thought. But look here, Krishnan, he said, turning to the young man, if this Compton effect is true of X-rays, and it must be true of light too. So, remember children, just two things. Compton, when you remember, he has experimented with X-rays. And whereas C.V. Raman started experimentation with light rays. So somebody has done the experiment and research work with X-rays, and C.V. Raman has been doing some scientific expeditions with light rays. This is the slight difference that you need to remember, children. If Compton becomes successful in X-rays, then my experiment also will become successful. That is the kind of decision resolution he got. A few years earlier, A.H. Compton, who is he? A.H. Compton had shown that the nature of X-rays changes when passed through the matter. So, when passed through the matter. So, what he says, you can change the X-rays on the basis of change of matter. Okay. By using X-rays and matter, he brought some kind of resolution, some kind of changes. Okay, so the change was dependent on the kind of matter. So the X-ray change according to the kind of matter that is produced. If it is transparent, if it is solid, if it is liquid. So on the basis of matter, the X-rays passage can be changed. Okay, the effect was called, and this change is called the Compton effect. What is that change? When you change the matter, automatically the X-rays also will change. The passage of the X-rays also will change. So simple it is. And that is the kind of Compton effect. Okay. This is an important question. Like they may ask you, what is Compton effect? Right? So simple question. What is Compton effect? Children, when you follow this, please open your book and also put your finger on the book and learn it. And write the hard words, don't forget that. And this simple question, what is Compton effect? You pause it and write in your notes. Compton effect means the change of X-rays passage depends on the change of matter. That is the kind of conclusion that you can arrive at. Could light also change its nature when passed through the transparent medium? So once Mr. A.H. Compton became so successful, C.V. Raman also started really experimentation with light rays, and he just hypothetically he wrote a question. He thought of a kind of question. What is that question? Could light also change in nature when passed through the transparent medium? So simple, right? That was the question that Raman asked himself. So Raman himself asked, could the light also change in nature when passed through a transparent medium? When we pass the light through a transparent medium, can it change? This was the question asked by C.V. Raman himself. For 5 years, how many years? For 5 years, he had been doing research in optics. Okay, in light rays, who has been doing for 5 years research work? It is C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman has done almost 5 years of research work in optics, the science of light. What is the meaning of optics? Optics means the science of light. What is the meaning of optics? Optics means the science of light. No sophisticated equipment was available in his laboratory. Remember, no sophisticated means big instruments were not there in his laboratory. Costly instruments, rich instruments, sophisticated technology related instruments were not at all there in his laboratory. But Raman was confident that he could find out the answers with some modifications in his equipments. But though there weren't enough resources, he had no equipments, children, like scientific equipments to do the research work, nothing. But he had very, very little and few equipments he had, and he himself got encouraged by his own words, and he said, with a little bit of modifications to my equipments, I myself can find out the truth. 4 months later, on March 16th, 1928. So remember the date, March 16th, 1928. How did he do this scientific work? With big technology related equipments, instruments, or yes, with very, very less and poor technology related equipments. Remember that. Okay, on March 16th, 1928, Raman announced his discovery of new radiation. So somebody now on March 16th, 1928, Raman has announced, and we call it as Raman effect. What is Raman effect? Discovery of new radiation. Describing the behavior of a beam of light passing through the liquid chemicals. Okay, how did he describing the behavior of a beam of light passing through the liquid chemical in an assembly of scientists at Bangalore, now called Bangalore. Okay, so what did he do? In a beam of light passed through the chemical, and he found some kind of changes there, and with that he said, I can see a new radiation coming over here, and that he found out in which place, and he announced this Raman effect, the new scientific discovery, in the place called Bangalore in some time ago. Now it is called as Bangalore. Before it was called Bangalore, now it is called as Bangalore. Remember that. Don't say I'm going to Bangalore. No, I'm going to Bangalore. Bangalore. Okay, right. So do you know what is Compton effect and what is the Raman effect? These two are very, very important, my dear children. Important short questions that can be asked in your examination. Are you following? Any hard word, children, please write in your notes and find the meaning for it. And also opposites. Is that very clear? So almost so many years he had worked, my dear children. The world hailed the discovery as the Raman effect for scientific research in this country. Okay, so the whole world hailed, appreciated, congratulated the Raman for his Raman effect, and there was a kind of scientific discovery even from a poorest country like India. India was that time very, very poor, but they found out something, and then it is called, appreciated. The whole world took its eyes on India. Okay, remember that. Okay, it was a red letter day. It was an important day. Red letter day means important day. His discovery caught the attention of the world with equipment worth hardly only 200 rupees. No, the equipment that he had in his science laboratory was only worth 200 rupees, children. Of course, it was a big amount, 200, but then it is not, it is nothing. Limited faculty facilities, Raman was able to make a discovery which won him the Nobel Prize in physics in 1930. So an Indian Nobel Prize winner in 1930, who is he? C.V. Raman. And was there any big technology in his room? Nothing. What were the equipments and what is the cost of those equipments which were available in his laboratory? It is just 200 rupees. Worth this. He brought the attention of the whole world. The science world has taken full attention on India, and they started appreciating and congratulating for the new kind of discovery that was brought out from India. Now, Raman was born on November 7th, 1888 at Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu. So, C.V. Raman hails from Tamil Nadu, and he was born on November 7th, 1888, 888, remember that, just 888. Okay. His father was a physics teacher in a college. He was a brilliant student right from the start. When Raman passed his matriculation means 10th class, his parents were keen to send him abroad for higher studies. But on the medical grounds, a British surgeon advised them not to send him there. Okay. Raman stayed in the country to do the MA course at the Presidency College in Madurai. So he had a great desire of going to foreign and studying. So likewise, children, his parents always encouraged him, advised him to study. So because of his bad health, not because of economic condition, because of his bad health, he could not go to foreign. Instead, he stayed in the country itself and prepared his MA course. He got the degree from Presidency College, which is in Madurai. So he got his MA degree, master's degree from Presidency College. You need to remember that, children. So what is the scientist that we are talking about? C.V. Raman. Where does he come from? He comes from South India. In which state? Tamil Nadu. What is his father? He is a farmer. Electrician? No, he is a physics teacher. Okay. Did his parents stop him to go to the foreign? No. They encouraged him. Why he could not go to foreign? Any reason? Yes, there is a solid reason. That is his bad health. Now, science had already made an impression on him. He began to write research papers for science journals. So there was a kind of thirst, there was a great interest for C.V. Raman to do something in science. So he started writing articles, papers for newspapers and journals, okay, magazines and other things. He used to write so many scientific papers. When he was only 19, he became a member of Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. He stayed there in Indian Association of Cultivation of Science Institute. He stayed there, but now he has become a member at the age of 19, the youngest age. Meanwhile, respecting his parents' wishes, he took up an administrative job in Finance Ministry in Calcutta. Not only that, his parents also always advised him, do something in your life. You cannot just waste your time, but you have to earn money. So because of the pestering side of the parents, he started doing a job, that is a financial job. He was a financier in, finance job in bank, he did it. Okay. He took up an administrative job in the Finance Ministry in Calcutta. His interest in science, however, did not flag. So though he was an administrator in the side of the administrative department, there was always a burning desire to do something in science, to become a scientist and to do something in science. Okay, his interest in science, however, did not flag. He used to spend his hours and in the office lab of the association working throughout the night. So besides his job, he also used to do a lot of reading work, writing work in sciences, and spend all of his time in the science laboratory in the IACS. Okay, in the youth, Raman was mainly interested in acoustics, the science of sounds. Okay, as a youth, he was interested in the words, vocabulary of the science, in the science related information and other things. As a young person, what you are interested in? Heroes, heroines, movies. What more? Dresses. The kind of makeup, hairstyles, shoes. These are in these kind of things our interest is. Our interest is not in something that is beyond these things. So this young man had the interest only in sciences. Okay, studied how stringed instruments like a violin and sitar could produce harmonious music. Even he was very much worried, very much concerned and very much speculative about how this guitar can produce such a beautiful noise. There are only strings, no? But if you strike on the strings, you will get very good sound. How is that possible? So he was very much worried. He was elected to the Royal Society of London in 1924. In 1924, he was elected to the Royal, Royal Society of London. Okay, it is in England. Royal Society of England in 1924. He was elected as a member. The British government made him the Knight of the British Empire in 1929. It was a high honor for any great scientist. Okay, so British government has made him the Knight. Knight means great man, a powerful man of British kingdom, and so that was a great honor given to this beautiful scientist. He is advised to young scientists. So he also gave advice to some people. Who are they? Young scientists, you and me. Sorry, I cannot say, I am an old man. You people are the young people. And there is a beautiful message from this beautiful scientist, the pride of India, C.V. Raman. He is giving you information, children. His advice to young scientists was to look at the world around them and not to confine themselves to their laboratories. The essence of science, he said, is independent thinking and hard working, not equipment. Children, your science research work should not get linked with what? Equipments. No. It must be the essence, the power of science is outside. It is not in the laboratory where you close your doors and do something in the laboratory. No. Go out to the nature and find out. That is science. That is the message he has given. Okay, so C.V. Raman was the first Indian scholar who studied wholly in India and received the Nobel Prize. So C.V. Raman is the only man who studied in India and got the Nobel Peace Prize. He was the first Asian and the first non-white to win such a great award in science. So he was the first Asian, first Indian, first non-white to win this Nobel Prize. Okay, he passed away in 1970 on November 21st. Okay, in the same year, same month he was born. On November 7th he was born, on November 21st, but the year is different. That is 1970, he died. But his memories are with us. February 28th, the day, do you know the speciality of February 28th? Yeah, it is National Science Day for India. The day on which he discovered the Raman effect. Why that day is selected as the National Science Day? Because on that day, C.V. Raman discovered the Raman effect. Okay, the Raman effect, he found it on that day. That's why we celebrate 28th February as the National Science Day. When is the National Science Day? When did C.V. Raman was born? When did C.V. Raman died? What is the message of the C.V. Raman to the youth? What are the things he used to do? What are the other jobs did he do? So these are some of the important questions you need to answer, children. discovered the Raman effect is celebrated as National Science Day to commemorate his remarkable achievement in science. So his remarkable achievement in science was on February 28th, children. So such a beautiful lesson, children. Hope you all understood this lesson. So as you listen to this beautiful lesson, please take a pen and English notes and write down all the main points, write all the vocabulary that is present here that you can see here, learn their meaning, and also pick the hardest words from the lesson and find the meaning from the word web app from your mobile and write the meanings for them and prepare. And also there were so many questions I have asked you, children. Those are all questions you will have to learn them. Okay. Thank you, children, for listening to the lesson. Hope you understood the lesson. It was very clear for you. In case if you want to give any suggestions, if you have any doubts, please call me immediately. Okay, whatever questions, assessment I have made through my explanation, please write down all those questions, and also textual questions, please answer them in your English notebook. Is that very clear, children?